buildings along the Las Vegas Strip and all the action here, this is one of the city's biggest attractions. Allegiant Stadium opened back in 2020. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. They'll start on the ground. Etienne. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
From the 31, here's a 2nd and 8. They go play action with Lawrence. He'll get this into the hands of the wideout from LSU. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
This 2nd and 4. And they'll go again with Etienne. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
They'll run with Etienne. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, a new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
Now Lawrence to throw. And this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there. Nearly an opening drive INT.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. A handoff running left is Etienne. And he's going to be close to a first down as he gets this to the Raiders' 20-yard line. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. The impressive opening drive continues and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. The defense surrenders a 13-yard pass play there on 3rd and 1.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down, and this has been a great opening drive. You know, at this point, they'd hate to settle for 3, but they've created a fresh set of downs and a 1st and goal.
Here's Lawrence to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. From the shotgun, Lawrence. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Max Crosby, the outside linebacker, dropping him for a loss of 6.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
3rd and goal and still a long way from the end zone. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could. But let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. And his kick is good. And the Jaguars grab a 3-0 lead. And all in all, a pretty decent opening drive, Charles. Pretty balanced. They had the passing game going and the rushing attack, too.
I would think they have to be happy with that start because you get your ground game going, which means your offensive line and your runners are pretty happy, and then you get your aerial attack going as well, so your quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now both up to speed, awaiting their next possessions for this game. They can't wait to get started again.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Geno now to throw. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Now Geno. They'll get the tight end Bowers involved there. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a 1st down as well. Well, the first drive here and the first time that we've called a big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers will get involved as this game goes on.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 23. But forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot. And they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
2nd down, here's Mostert again. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Throwing now is Geno. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Trey Tucker, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders have answered that early field goal to take a first-quarter lead. Such an art to dot the I, just get the feet in right there against the line before going out of bounds.
Such an incredibly graceful, athletic play, but also a lot of practice goes into it. They work on that to make sure that they learn how to train their feet to get down in bounds.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the second time here in this game. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Lawrence will throw. That's caught. It's Strange, the tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll make it second down. Etienne up the middle. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. 3rd and 4, he did just enough, and I mean just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
Lawrence, now this is Etienne on the draw. And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside, as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up second down. Delayed give there out of the gun. Defense was ready.
And I'm not a big fan of a draw play out of the shotgun formation because the quarterback's not having much action where he's getting away from the line of scrimmage. He's catching the football, making a little head fake, and then handing it off. You should be able to read it as they did there.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 35. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
On 1st and 10, it's Bigsby. And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Ezra Cleveland, the guard, called for the penalty there. They'll try the left side with Etienne. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the first down due to the previous penalty. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. The Jags with the football to begin the second quarter. Line of scrimmage, the 9, second and about a yard. As they've got it as we resume action. Looking to throw, Lawrence. And he's got it. And the Jags are going to be set up with a first and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. And he's got it. It's Thomas for a Jacksonville touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown pass. And the Jaguars are able to move back in front. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 10-7. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. Fighting his way through contact. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive, so we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll bring up second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Over the middle, complete. That's Phillips. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
Now a chance to make that encroachment penalty really hurt. 1st and 5. Here's Smith. He's going to float this one deep right side. He's got it at the 15. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Trey Tucker. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Raiders have moved out in front. Pretty good response. They had given up the touchdown and the lead, but they struck back.
And I love the way that they just saw it happen. Took a quick exhale on the sidelines. So let's go get it back and fast. Let's go ahead and throw the ball downfield and get our own 6 points.
A huge chunk play to regain that lead. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Touchdowns on back-to-back drives, so a very good flow right now offensively.
Hard to slow them down, too, because they are locked in. Feel like the offense coordinator is a little bit ahead of the defensive guys right now. They're beating them to the punch with their play calls. They've got a nice rhythm they're locked into. How can the defensive guys come up with something that'll disrupt that flow? That's what they're seeking right now.
Well, it's been an exciting sequence to watch. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. They tried to go with a little play action there, but nobody on the defensive side bit.
Yeah, they adjusted in time and in a big way and ultimately got the sack. On offense, sometimes you're running play action just to set up a certain blocking technique. In this case, none of it worked.
And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. A short throw there to Strange. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop him well short.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. And taken right on the 30. It'll be a 41-yard punt. Give them 5 on the return. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3. Because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, and right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that 3rd consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense. This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
That's complete into the hands of Myers. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll try and run here with Mostert. And they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
So on 4th down, here's A.J. Cole to punt for the Raiders. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
They'll send the tight end in motion left. Now Lawrence. This ball caught by Strange. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards.
Running their plays over and over during the week can often get robotic for an offense, but on game day they can often flow smoothly, as that one just did.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 45-yard line. Off the play fake, here's Lawrence. He's going to air this thing out deep for Thomas. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
And that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go up the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Straight ahead, Etienne. And he's going to be close to a first down as he gets this to the Raiders' 37. 50 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
And he is going to have a Jags first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On play action, Lawrence to the right side and complete to Washington. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
What a drive. This has been just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Now Lawrence. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
And I think he just wanted to give the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area, and after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Back to the ground with Etienne. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Lawrence now off the bootleg. He'll get this out to the flat for Etienne. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Travis Etienne from 8 yards out. And the Jaguars have yet again retaken the lead.
Yeah, that's a nice play design right there. He's going to fake the give, then roll out. And he lets his back leak out toward the pylon. And how about the throw? Right where he needed it to be for him to catch it in stride. He's able to take it into the end zone.
Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 17-14. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Mostert to start the drive. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on first down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Once again, it's Mostert. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on third down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
On fourth down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Jacksonville set to go again offensively. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
From the 29, here's second down and 2. Etienne on the toss right, and he is going to lose yardage here. That second down play nets a -4.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
The Jaguars on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Lawrence. Screen play. Here's Etienne. And he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. 4th down.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle him for just a short gain.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Here's Logan Cook now to punt this one away. Pulled in at the 24. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4. Now Smith. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
To throw is Smith. Throw left side, pulled in by Tucker. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
Smith. Getting this out to the flat, Mostert. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Second and 5. Throwing again is Smith. Pass complete right side to Bowers. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 37. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, it was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. They'll look to throw. And he's going to go down again. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. The Jaguars ready to go on offense for the final time in this first half. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. A field goal the difference. 17-14 is the score. Back underway here now in this 3rd quarter. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. Now comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the 3rd quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, you know, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now. I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
They'll try the air now with Smith. Over the middle, he's got Myers. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Geno now to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now it's Smith. Throw out wide is incomplete.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it. And that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Vegas. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. 60 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Another tote for Etienne. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
Lawrence will throw. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Good, clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get them off the field with a 3 and out.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. .46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raiders offense coming back out onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Play action. It's Smith. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Nifty job there on the scramble. Got 12 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
Now Geno. Short throw caught by Bowers. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's 3rd and 4 now.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
Throwing now is Geno. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Raiders first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
2nd down, here's Mostert again. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Smith now to throw. A short throw, and that's hauled in by Mayer. And he is going to have the Raiders' 1st down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. Throwing is Smith. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Bowers. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They've moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively, but they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when he decided not to throw it on 1st down. But give them credit. They recovered in time to deny him the 1st down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short. So that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
Here's a toss play right to Mostert. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Not your normal call in short yardage, but the toss works very well there. Big people out in front, being physical, and they pick up a 1st down.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Offensive line really didn't give him any room to maneuver on that play.
Things closed pretty quickly, didn't they? And how about the wrap-up at the end of that tackle? Left no doubt there would be no additional yardage to be found.
A run with Mostert up the middle. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 60 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up 1st downs.
Mostert. Fighting, but he won't get too far. Maybe a yard, that's all, down to the 2. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Good work there, holding him out on 1st down. And this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Toward the pylon, but it's incomplete.
Well, if you're going to give out a little applause on that play, it has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the 1st row.
Right now, no questioning the toughness of this Jaguar defense. This is 3rd and goal. They'll run with Mostert. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. Raheem Mostert taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Raiders have taken the lead here in this 3rd quarter.
Well, he'd been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will make this a 4-point game. following the touchdown. Ready to kick it away is Carlson. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out. Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed, and he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. I always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
And this will be incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Running out of the gun with Etienne. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there, but how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. Steps away to his left. Great vision there by Lawrence as he scrambles for a first down.
Partner, there's a downside to everything, and the danger of man coverage is if you're locking down to the quarterback and you don't see him, sometimes you open up and that was an astute play by him to scramble out, see that lane, and burn them for a first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. And he is met through to break that play up, Max Crosby.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes the defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
On 2nd down, Etienne once more. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. It's Jaguar football, but a little work to do for them. They trail here as we start the 4th. To the right side and complete to Thomas. And he'll only get this to the 14 as he'll come up well short of the first down. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there, and they've rallied and made the tackle.
Here we go. Gotta have it. Lawrence. Oh, no, he lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Following the fumble recovery, Smith. He'll get the tight end Bowers involved there. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Up the middle they go with Mostert. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
And this is exactly what you're looking to do offensively. If you can start stringing some runs together like this, you'll keep churning out first downs, and that's going to put you in a great position to carry this one home.
On first down, they go with Mostert again. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. 73 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the fourth quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand they're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
This is caught by Tucker. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 33. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the fourth quarter.
They hand it off to Mostert. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
They'll fake it. Now Smith. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
They got to get to the 23 here on third. In motion is Phillips. Here's Smith. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
Just because you've got the lead in the fourth, it doesn't mean you have to play it safe. I like the aggressive play call there to push it downfield. That time, it didn't work out.
Carlson able to put this one through, and that'll make this a 7-point game. Now, from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. Pushing his way through. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And that last turnover could have proven more costly, but their defense only gave up 3. But now answering with a field goal doesn't do them much on this drive. They need to try and find the end zone. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10. At their own 27. They'll look to Etienne to start things out. And that to the 30. It'll be second down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's a 2nd and 7. Now Lawrence. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Brown. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
Now Lawrence. He'll find Aguara complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Here's 2nd and 7. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
2nd and 2 now. The penalty leaves them in pretty good shape. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. From the shotgun, Lawrence. And this one nearly intercepted. Boy, that would have been a great time for their first pick. But instead, it's 3rd down.
Oh, this defense knows. 4th quarter, they need to make a play. That one was ripe for the taking. Could have changed the complexion of the ball game, but it winds up incomplete.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lawrence. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they'll get this down to the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Here's Lawrence. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. They'll give him a dozen on the pitch and catch, but now they're up against a 3rd and goal. Looking to throw, Lawrence. And he's got it. It's Thomas for a Jacksonville touchdown. Brian Thomas, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Jaguars are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Raiders now set to get the football back. They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown. All tied up in the 4th quarter. And a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here. They'll start on the ground with Mostert. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll stay on the ground with Mostert. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From the 43, here's 2nd and 6. On the handoff, this is Mostert. And 3 yards there, takes him to the 45.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This is 3rd and 4. Now Smith. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 37. 18 yards, a big pickup there on 3rd down.
And partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
So in Jacksonville territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. And he'll take this down to the 33.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
From the 33, here's 2nd and 6. From the gun, a run with Mostert. And he is close to a first down as he's tackled at the Jaguars' 28. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive could take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
From here, it would be a 45-yard field goal attempt, certainly in range, but they'll look for more yardage on 3rd down. And that one too wide and incomplete.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
So a big one coming now for Daniel Carlson. This for the lead in the final stages. The kick by Carlson is good, and they have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. So here now, Lawrence and the Jaguars. Down 27-24, 2:14 to play. Plenty of time here. They've got 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning as they've got it 1st and 10. Lawrence. A short throw there to Strange. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. And that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Now Lawrence to throw. And this one nearly intercepted. Boy, that would have been a great time for their first pick. But instead, it's 3rd down. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted. And if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
Here's Lawrence to throw. That is caught. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning. From the gun, it's Lawrence. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
Screenplay, here's Etienne. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
He's had success running the football, and this is more or less an extension of that because they drop it off to him on the screen. And I'll bet he's thinking to himself, if I didn't have to slow up a bit here in traffic, I could have really made something out of that one.
Well, the black hole and everyone in Vegas on their feet. Here's third down now. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
Nice, well coached, a team that understands what's going on. They still have time to work the middle of the field as they just did there.
This is 1st and 10. Throwing now, Lawrence. A short throw there to Strange. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game. Two timeouts still available in this final minute. It's 1st and 10 now. Straight ahead, Etienne. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. And now all of a sudden, the shoe's kind of on the other foot. Maybe you pull the reins back here a bit?
Yeah, a little bit because you got to make sure that you don't score too quickly.
Two timeouts still at their disposal. Here's a 1st and 10 now. Here's Lawrence. Got an open man. It's Washington. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. They come up now on 2nd and 2. A handoff running left is Etienne. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Now a field goal try coming up here for the Jags. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick is good. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
So overtime on the horizon, barring a wild finish here as the kick's away. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll start things out at the 25. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the safe calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win.
And they're not able to complete it. Now just 6 seconds remain. Time for one, maybe 2 more plays. This defense hasn't had the best showing in this game, but a critical knockdown there. If they can hang on, I guess the end will kind of justify the means.
Certainly, and just think of it this way. It may not be the quantity of the plays that they've had because those haven't been great, but they get a few more quality ones like that. That could finish things off for them.
And incomplete. So 4 quarters wasn't enough, and we are off to overtime. Don't change that dial. So the Jaguars going to get possession of the football first here in this overtime session as the kick is away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. He's had some big runs in this game. Not there, though.
But I don't think they're going to be deterred by that play right there. He's had some nice runs in the game. And how many times have we seen a good running back get stopped, yet turn it into something big on a later carry? I'd stay with him.
This ball caught by Strange. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 44-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards. That last pass puts him over 300 yards now in the game. More importantly, though, big first down here in OT.
And the team around him has a lot of confidence now after picking up that first down. Everyone seems a little more energized. But did I hear you before the game call in and say, this is my quarterback for your fantasy league? Because he just gave you a good stat, didn't he?
He did, and I appreciate it. This duo locked in, 14 yards there. And a first down. Well, good start for him under center here in overtime. Now 3 of 3.
And this is where you have to know who you have playing quarterback. You've got a confident thrower right now, someone who's taking care of the ball, but not being timid as well, and is moving the team downfield. That opens up your playbook and allows you to dial up some big shots if you want them.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Boy, everything clicking on this drive. He's 4 for 4 now, and that throw, maybe the best of the bunch. This offense is really humming, and they pick up another first down.
Lawrence going to throw again. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Buried behind the line by Christian Wilkins.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Play action. It's Lawrence. That's caught by Munn. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Etienne, and he is into the end zone. They accomplish what they set out to do as they will take the lead here in overtime.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal